Welcome to All Theory, No Conspiracy. Don't forget to like, subscribe, click to receive notifications, and leave a comment. This is all about making connections. Featuring the royal family. This video explores relationships that the royal family have had with people such as Jimmy Savile, Jeffrey Epstein, former butler and footman Paul Kidd, and disgraced Canadian military colonel Col Williams. There are too many incidents to call them coincidences. One of the most notorious criminals that the royal family had been connected to was Jimmy Savile. James Wilson Vincent Savile was a pro wrestler and a radio disc jockey, but is most well known for being a television host. Savile was host of the BBC music show Top of the Pops and Jim'll Fix It. Savile was notorious for being a serial abuser of young people. Savile went so far as to assault a young woman live on TV during an episode of Top of the Pops. There were many reports of abuses and assaults that Savile committed, which were not brought to light until after Savile had died in 2011. In life, Savile was protected by very powerful people. It was alleged that Savile procured minors for the wealthy elite and high-ranking politicians in England, many of whom were also named as serial abusers. Savile had set up sleepover rooms in hospitals, care homes, and orphanages to put himself in close contact with vulnerable children. Savile was very close to former Prince and now King Charles, and one time was brought in to mediate marital problems between Charles and Princess Diana. Savile came and went from Buckingham Palace without a glance from security. Anyone with access to the royal family is heavily vetted by their security forces and by MI5. Royal Security, MI5, and Scotland Yard surely knew about the numerous accusations made against Savile and must have known about his proclivities. Why was a man like Jimmy Savile given carte blanche access to one of the most powerful families in the world? Serial abuser and human trafficker Jeffrey Epstein was also connected to the royal family and enjoyed a close relationship with Prince Andrew. This relationship began prior to 2006, when Epstein was accused of abuse by many underage girls, and continued past 2008, when Epstein was convicted of soliciting prostitution from a minor. For many years, there were rumors of Epstein owning a private island where children were taken to and held for rich clientele to abuse. These rumors turned out to be true, along with the list of very famous names who had flown to the island on Epstein's plane, which was dubbed the Lolita Express. Prince Andrew admitted he had flown to Epstein's island, had stayed at Epstein's Palm Beach home, and was also a guest at the London home of Epstein's associate, Ghislaine Maxwell, where a young woman named Victoria Roberts, Jeffrey, stated that she was paid to have relations with Prince Andrew. A staggering amount of information has been released since Epstein's death. Ghislaine Maxwell has been sentenced to 20 years with evidence being sealed in order to protect famous names who would be implicated. The royal family must have known the kind of business Epstein was involved in and what kind of illegal and immoral acts in which Prince Andrew was a willing participant. Paul Kidd began as a steward for the royal family in 1975, became butler to Queen Elizabeth in 1977, and was a senior footman for the Queen Mother from 1979 to 1984, when he retired from service due to a cancer diagnosis. Kidd, a former candidate for the UK Independence Party, was outed after one of his abuse victims read a newspaper interview he gave on the 10th anniversary of the death of Princess Diana. The victim reported he had been indecently assaulted by Kidd at the butler's home in the early 1980s when he was 13 years old. The police uncovered evidence of further abuse during a search of Kidd's home. Among items found on his computer were 18,019 images of unknown children and a video recording of him abusing a child in 2006. Kidd had once taken one of his victims to a tea with the Queen Mother. The police considered this to be grooming the victim and had described Kidd as a brilliant groomer. This victim came forward after reading the news about the case when Kidd was initially charged with abuse by police. Kidd pleaded guilty to 9 counts of indecent assault, 6 counts of sexual activity with a child, and 1 count of causing or inciting a child to engage in sexual activity. He also admitted 11 counts of making indecent images of a child and 2 counts of possessing indecent images of children. He was jailed for a minimum of 6 years. In 2010, Colonel Russell Williams was the base commander of CFB Trenton, Canada's largest Air Force base. He had been a flight instructor at a Canadian Forces School in Manitoba and a graduate of the Royal Military College of Canada. He was a model military officer. As a VIP pilot, he flew Queen Elizabeth, Prince Philip, and other dignitaries to destinations around the world. Also in 2010, Williams admitted to ending the lives of a 37-year-old corporal under his command and a 27-year-old civilian. Both women were also sexually assaulted. He documented both crimes on video. He had also broken into the homes of 2 other women who were his neighbors and sexually assaulted them. Williams admitted to breaking into dozens of homes to steal underwear and lingerie from the women living there. One was 9 years old. He took thousands of pictures of all his crimes, storing them on his home computer. Williams pled guilty to 88 charges and was sentenced to 2 life sentences for first degree, 2 10-year sentences for other sexual assaults, 2 10-year sentences for forcible confinement, and to 82 one-year sentences for burglary, all to be served concurrently at Kingston Penitentiary. Russell Williams was also friends with convicted serial killer Paul Bernardo. They went to the University of Toronto, took the same economics program, and graduated together in 1987. Sources said they also hung out and partied together. Now both are confined in the same prison, Port Cartier Institution, 800 kilometers north of Montreal, in the province of Quebec. This is just 4 examples of connections that the royal family has to serial abusers, serial killers, and human trafficking, with 2 of them confirmed as procurers of children for the wealthy and powerful. Speaks for itself, doesn't it? There will be links to articles and YouTube videos referencing all of the aforementioned connections in the description below this video. The end? Stay tuned for more content from All Theory, No Conspiracy. Thank you for watching.